This is we're live now.
Holy smokes, we're live?
I'm so happy.
We have not been live in a long time. But let people know on Facebook that we're talking live. We're coming, people. If you're already watching, I doubt you are.
Come on, you gotta respect Nelson.
I like the hi-hat.
Take it. It's not quite as good as your. Heard It in a Love Song is the best. And I have that. That's a good one. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time coming, but hey, this is Talkin Wrestling. We've been on a long vacation called the high school wrestling season. I'm Greco Moses, Rob Prebish here, and I'm in between New Kent coaches Mike Foss and John Goodbody.
Hey, everybody!
So where have you all been?
Well, we had season. It was a good one. Did not end the way we wanted it to.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But overall, good year. We have some good seniors going off to good colleges to go wrestle,
That's
and
good.
other seniors going off to good
Very
colleges
excited
to get
about that.
education. We had a lot of success. We were fairly young this year, so it's going to be exciting to watch those kids develop and have a good off season of training. We ended the year with a couple state champs and state finalists, and we're already back after it, man. After the dead period, we're already training. But other than that, just wrestling season. Enjoying life a little bit,
Right.
And all the snow days, we're getting caught back up at work and all that, and that's about it. Man.
This was our first full week of school
Yeah, how'd that go
in
for
about
you
3
guys?
weeks. Just tiring.
Foss was
Just
exhausted.
adjusting.
That was awful.
He was so exhausted he turned red off an allergic reaction.
That was pretty crazy.
Mr. Tuna Eating guy.
That tuna smelled so bad, but yet I just dove in. I
That's
was just
an
like,
indicator not to
I'm
eat it.
still eating it.
Committed, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why?
I'm still eating it. I don't know.
If it smells
It was
good.
a high risk, low reward. I
No,
mean,
there was no reward. Your reward was running to the nurse's office, turning red, heart beating a mile a minute.
it was unbelievable. I've never. And you know what the best part about it were how worried the kids were about. Like kids were texting me and texting Goodbody. They're like, "What happened to Foss? Is Foss okay? Foss?" I appreciate that, guys.
You killed him.
Appreciate it.
You
Appreciate
killed
it,
him.
on a
kids.
side note, though, if you notice, we don't have solo cups. We're not in an apartment complex. We are currently at Garden Grove Brewery.
The new brewery in Carytown. If you're in
Carytown?
Carytown, walk on by. They have good beers here. I hear, because I would not partake in such things.
Good people so far. They've been really nice.
they're
opening
very
the
good.
doors to us.
Very accommodating.
Yeah.
And they have a back room almost. It's like just
It's
perfectly
perfect
suited.
for us.
A couple new things. You can see this little handy dandy microphone that we got here. So sound.
I feel like
should
I'm
be good.
KRS-One
There you go.
on the microphone.
Oh, dude, it sounds like you could be like Rush Limbaugh on his show. And
Oh,
stuff.
you don't want me? No,
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh. Come on now.
Just like that.
What about you, Prebish, man? How was the season?
It was a good season. We wrestled hard. We had, this was like probably the most injury and illness riddled season I've ever experienced as a coach. We lost our starting 106 pounder before the season ever began.
It's a shame, man. But he's still around, man.
He was only a freshman.
Yeah.
Bowl cut. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is a pretty sweet bowl cut.
I like it.
I got a haircut story to tell you guys too in a minute.
Oh, well, I'm no expert on hair. Obviously.
And we lost one of our best wrestlers in December. He broke his ankle during a match. As it turned out, we had a really good state tournament. I thought honestly that we were going to finish in third, but we had this ridiculous semifinal
you guys,
round.
really made it up.
Yeah.
Turned it on, man.
Yeah.
And 4.5
Short-handed,
points
you
back.
guys really did well.
Yeah, we didn't have a 120 pounder again. We had a brand new kid in at 106 and at 126.
106 pounder probably was weighed as much as I did in third grade.
Well, actually, we had a different one. We had one that actually weighed 108 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why you didn't see him much during the year because he was getting his weight down.
Wow.
But yeah, the one that you guys saw, little Turner bread rub, all like
Goodbody's big toe weighs as much.
yeah. Turner weighed like 80 pounds, but he wanted to go in and wrestle. So why forfeit it? And the kid wants to wrestle.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, the
give a kid a
season,
chance.
season overall just had a bunch of good highlights,
Oh, yeah.
especially for you guys, like at the end of the year.
And Joey Prada winning his second national prep title, and John Ferguson, who started wrestling in 9th grade after getting cut from basketball, was prep All-American. That's pretty good, pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And,
I would say the highlight, other than the state champions and the runner-up, was the region championship. Winning the region champion, our first championship, first time at home. It's been a long time,
awesome.
And it was 5 years to the day that we won our first one. And we had a couple of pins and like unexpected pins in the finals. That was probably the highlight for me. Of the season, but there was a lot of highlights to choose from.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, overall, it was just a good year of wrestling. That just brings us into our first topic. We're not going to go off. This has already been talked about a whole lot, and I've vented to every single person I could. I'm friends with a lot of soccer coaches, and they got to hear my, feelings on the VHSL, and their feelings on the VHSL is completely different than mine. But a lot of people got to hear me vent about it. But let's talk about the end of the season that was known as the VHSL debacle.
Oh boy.
I'm going to let Fox take it in the reins because, he was on Jason Bryant, the second Virginia podcast. We're the first one. He's the second one.
I think this is a little more high-tech than
definitely is.
Hey, Brian has all those guys on it, but is he from Garden Grove? No, he's not broadcasting Garden Grove. He's not, he's on location. Guy has his own studio.
People love us.
Yeah.
They love us.
But Fox, you started off in the VHSL stuff.
Well, I think we heard it on the way in there that they decided pretty much the morning that we were going to wrestle that it was going to be a single elimination tournament.
Right.
I didn't like it from the get-go, but I didn't say much to the powers that be because I know they had a bad morning and hearing about it, which should have maybe told them something. But afterwards, in retrospect, it's like you guys. Making it a single elimination tournament should be the last option, final option.
Yeah.
You're already there. Snow is falling down. That's the only time you should do that. But they make it as part of the first options that they would go.
Right.
Instead of being proactive, bring people in early.
Yeah.
They've
Make
known
a
about it
plan.
all week.
The snow. They knew the snow was coming, and it did hit. It hit the Saturday, so we were well out of there before the snow hit. But it was a wrong thing to do. I think I went into that on the podcast. Like that's the last thing that should be done. The single elimination.
Right.
You had 340 some wrestlers that could not wrestle back to get medals. That's wrong.
It hurt us as a team.
It hurt, but even more so than that. Okay, let's you play. It's almost like in football you play 4 quarters all year, then let's play 3 quarters in 5
running
quarters.
time.
Running time. Changing the rule of the game.
Right.
At the last. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
They postponed. They postponed track. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they were proactive in that, and I think that was a facility issue. And God forbid they don't have it at the Salem Civic Center. Because that's such a great place to have a state.
That was ridiculous.
That's sarcasm, people. It's just.
It was bad enough that it's an 8-man bracket for public school.
Yeah.
And then to throw that in there where you're losing your first round losers. I made me glad that I didn't have to worry about that. Being with the private schools, we were in communication with all the coaches. Our director, our tournament director. The executive group that did the seating, they're kind of like the leaders of VISSA wrestling. And we were, I can't tell you how many different emails I got during the week, like contingency plans. Like it almost got to the point that if Hermitage couldn't host it, we had it at Hermitage High School, that we were going to run it at St. Christopher's upstairs in our 2 gyms with 5 mats.
Okay.
Could have done though.
It would have been a nightmare, but we would have done it. And our tournament director was committed to having the full tournament with, with some weight classes, 26 wrestlers, full wrestlebacks. And yeah, we got done. We really pushed the pace. We got done middle of the afternoon on Saturday when the snow was just starting to hit. So I feel grateful, that we were able to do that. And I feel bad for the kids that lost in that first round of the public school.
That was the only positive for us. was that we have all those kids that lost that first round for us. There was 4 of them.
Right.
None of them are seniors.
That's good.
They all get to come back. They all get to battle again.
That's good.
You know.
I remember watching it. I don't remember the kids. I don't remember the match. It was 2 seniors in that first round, just going at it, you know, back and forth. And I'm like thinking, how wrong is it that one of their careers ends on this match?
Yeah.
This is wrong. Adults should never hurt kids, and that, you know, it's not a major, you know, it's a major thing in athletic event, but it's not going to hurt them the rest of their life. But that's a preventable mistake by adults. And we just need to do, when I say we, the VHSL needs to do a better job, quite frankly.
Well, and that kind of leads me to my next question. You know, what are the plans? What's going to happen?
Well, Vawa's doing a lot. I still have the survey saved up. I got to fill it out.
Right.
You know, Andrew Fair has been in touch with, you know, Tilly and all the VHSL guys. Vawa's trying to do their part to try to figure out all this stuff. I don't know what their plans are. You might know a little bit more than I do, but you're in the private school stuff. But I know Virginia USA Wrestling is really trying to get involved.
Yeah.
I know USA Wrestling in general is trying to get involved because, I mean, the HSL's debacle made, you know, national news on the wrestling community, you know, from Flow Wrestling on Intermat. I mean, Foley, yeah, he's a Virginia guy, but he talked about it.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was everywhere, you know.
How about Corbin Allen's picture on top of the podium?
That was pretty.
Turned his medal backwards in
Yeah,
protest because his brother lost in the first round.
And it's a shame that, you know, these kids, you know, when, you know, Corbin won his second state title, and, you know, he really, you know, he felt bad about it, you know, and that's a shame because the kids should not feel bad about their accomplishments.
No.
You know, what they achieved, you know, is something special.
Yeah.
And, you know, we made sure our kids, you know, realized it, that they achieved something special, but at the same time,
right.
I mean, they were frustrated. None of our kids wanted to stay for the 3A picture at the end.
Yeah.
You know, because they wanted us to stay. They were rushing us through the whole tournament. Why would they stay? And the kids, that's what the kids said.
Right.
You know, they were like, I mean, this is ridiculous. So, I mean, that's the kids, you know, making those choices, being like, hey, what they did was wrong.
The best part about the VHSL, this shows you what we're working with. You know, the whole time they're trying to make the tournament, so we're rushing out of there, getting people out of, getting out there, and then at the end, like, oh yeah, but make sure all your state champions stay so we can have a picture.
Screw that.
With the for our program next year. It's like, sorry, we didn't stay, and that was my form of protest. Is like, I'm not gonna, all of a sudden your program is not as much important to me as getting these kids home safely and making sure we're back to where we are, because we had to get on the road. Because we had kids and we had to drive in the vans.
You're a bad man, Mike Foss.
Yeah, I know.
You are
such
a
rebel.
You know, it makes me sick still thinking about it and talking about it, and it's going to be kept on getting talked about. But I hope something gets done. You know, whether there's contingency plans where you host it at individual sites, but those plans need to be set up.
Yeah.
The best. I think the best. There's a couple things that I think could really benefit. First off, I think the next time. Now, this is the only time that I've been in 14 years we had to have a snow plan. For states or anything like that. So hopefully next time, if anything comes out, we'll have a better plan next time.
Right.
For what to do with wrestling states.
Right.
Now, there's a couple things overall that need to be tweaked. 8-man brackets and 6 state champions. In public schools should not happen.
No, it's bad.
That needs to change. I think the Wawa is going to work on that. And I think
I heard
also,
something funny yesterday.
One more thing, I think you'll see state duels. There's 2 things being worked on.
A coach, told me yesterday. He said that, yesterday was the freshman, sophomore, junior states, which is a well-run, well-organized, tournament.
Right.
They get it flowing. They get it, get it moving.
Yeah, it was well run.
And then you get They did the super state thing, which you get some good. You get some tough kids out there competing. Yes, you got some seniors still hanging around, still scrapping. Yes, but overall, that's just another state champion. I know the goal. I know the goal.
What we need.
I know the goal is to get all the state champs together and stuff. And that would be perfect in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world.
You didn't have that much yesterday.
But
it was a nice tournament, well run, but you didn't have a lot of.
But you get it, and it's another state champion.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, those kids that competed, they all got good awards, and they were out there competing. They were out there getting mat time. They were getting better.
Very good tournament.
But what's the move forward? I mean, we can talk about that all day. It's sickening. I give it up for the VISAA. They had a legit state tournament. They got those kids, their matches. They got those kids, they're mat time ready for national preps, and they went out there and performed. So
absolutely.
All those guys, Gordon and all you guys, hats off to you guys.
Gordo.
Let's talk about the VAWA Elementary School and Middle School State Championships. Andrew Farrer's first big event. He was nervous,
what a great
running around with his head with chicken with his head
was
off.
high strung, but he did a really good job.
He was
go back that way.
stressing out, but
walk here.
he did a good job. He did a good job. But let's talk about that event, man. The wrestling was top notch, and it makes it a bright future for the state of Virginia with the level of coaching and the level of athletes we got down there. Previous, you were there all day. You got there even before I did. So.
Well, I was there Friday night doing weigh-ins, and then Saturday I was your public address announcer, which is mistake number one. You give me a microphone and tell me that I can talk all day.
I think I'm still wanted at the concession stand.
You called us to different places. Goodbye and I.
When you get late in the day and you're bored and there's nothing going on, you've got to add some fun to it. So hey, why not send Goodbody to the concession stand?
Or Matt Four.
Or
me to the head table.
I think I called I sent you to the serpentine mat. Like, where's the serpentine?
And also the octagon.
Yeah.
Still was looking for that at about 7 o'clock. I didn't find it.
Where is the octagon?
But Foss, you had some really good stuff, and you and Coach Garland of UVA even talked about it yesterday. Run through all that stuff, man.
I just was noticing, watching the young kids, like the 8 and unders, and the watching the 8 and unders and the 10 and 11s. Right. That's a high level of wrestling, and I've been to a couple of those events before. That's the highest level of wrestling I've seen at such a young age there. And the future of Virginia is really good if those kids stay with it and go to high school and stay with wrestling. Because man, they looked like little high schoolers going out there, little studs, and a lot of them. Not just there's usually one or two. There's a bunch. It's a lot of depth. And to piggyback with that point, going back to what we were talking about to lead the show with VHSL, here we have these high level of competition. These are kids that might be able to go to a good college, be All-American in the future. We need a high school league that supports those kids, not like a dog and pony show. They kind of treat wrestling like an afterthought. And I know it's not a revenue sport, but it's still a sport that you sanction. You should give it the best possible way to be successful and put those kids in the best place to be successal.
It was 900 kids or something like that.
It was crazy.
It was the second best attended VAWA tournament. They said a couple of years ago they had 900. This year they have a little less, but it was.
You're going to see VAWA grow the membership, grow the coaches.
I think what you're going to see is the beach buy-in soon, because that's the one section for some reason, whatever.
They're stuck with AAU.
That does not.
There was that 11 and 12 12U weight class. It was at 70 pounds. You had 4 kids. You had little Roby. You had Evan Holloway, one of our kids. You had Brendan Barnes, and you had this kid named Ethan Rogie. I mean, those matches were intense.
Those are sixth graders.
And they were just battling, getting after it. That was just fun for me to watch. And, I'm just there supporting our young New Kent kids and the, Virginia Team Predator kids, our future New Kent kids, that were out there scrapping, man. But it was just fun as a fan of wrestling to watch some of those kids get after it and compete, and it was just exciting. The level of coaching. I didn't see many coaches get out of line.
I did.
Maybe you did. I didn't see many parents get out of line.
It was one crew. Maybe but other than that, very minority.
Maybe you did. Overall, it was just a good event, high-level wrestling, and it was just exciting to watch. And as a fan of wrestling, you got to be excited. And VHSL needs to. I wish they would have attended. One person could have attended that event and been like,
just
wow.
See what's coming.
You gotta make it.
And even to look at the facility, the Arthur Ashe Center was a really good facility. The one coach that really stood out as making a fool out of himself, the guy kind of looked like Coolio. and he was angry about the referees and the way that they were handling some of the matches, and came up and basically yelled at Jack Harcourt, Bill Swink, Andrew Farrer, and I mean, those are men that you don't want to anger, you know, because Jack Harcourt's, you know, he's been Virginia wrestling for 25, 30 years, you know, and Bill Swink, you know, he's our state chairman. And Andrew being our executive director, those are not the guys that you want to argue and get into a verbal fight with. It was just kind of funny because this guy would like come up and yell and scream for a while, then he would, you know, get told to go away, and then like 2 hours later he'd come back and hit the same thing up again, and it was just like all day. And I'm like, this guy's got to learn.
Some of those guys weren't sanctioned coaches, though. They were parents, and you know what that leads to. When you have parents, it's more passionate because they're.
I know there's AAU states and there's, you know, VAWA states, you know, but overall, I mean, mostly it's all attended at VAWA. So like, unlike your other sports where you have like a bunch of travel league baseball teams, you know, competing in this tournament in Virginia, this tournament in Virginia, this tournament in Virginia, and claiming all this stuff, you know, in wrestling you have like, you know, those middle school and youth kids' goals is to be a VAWA state champion.
Yeah.
And it is fun to watch, and fun to be a part of.
To get the championship finalist singlets.
You know, and I want more of a push for those kids. They honored them at the event. I want more of those kids going for that Triple Crown. You know, that segues into our next, you know, topic.
Segue.
You know, I mean, yeah, we have NHSCAs coming up. Which we got some guys training for that. I don't know about you guys. You guys probably have a couple.
Yeah.
I think Ross was telling me yesterday you guys have a couple.
Yeah.
But, you know, NHSCA is right around the corner, but it's freestyle and Greco time.
It's go time.
You know, I mean, this is the best
Greco
part of the year.
It's go time.
Where a lot of your games
get made.
Oh, Chris Michael yesterday was all fired up too, man.
Why is that?
Talk about bringing his throwing dummies up to New Canada.
He's Greco Christian.
Making sure we have our, you know,
Greco Mark.
Our crash pad ready and all that stuff. Man, he's just a good dude.
Oh yeah, it's you know, I've been waiting for Greco and freestyle since September when I had my knee surgery, and I'm excited to actually get back on the mat.
Lauren Prada says she can take you right now. That's what she told us yesterday.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. it ain't gonna happen, no matter what. It's not happening. But yeah, I'm excited to get back on the mat and start showing some technique again. You know, I got to update that website and all that good stuff. But yeah, you know, we've got a lot of talent in Virginia, and they just need to get out there and start wrestling and make that trip to Fargo. You know.
Well, yesterday, I mean, at the event, at Super States and the freshman, sophomore, junior stuff, they had, you know, Don Bradley in.
Okay.
You know, Don Bradley wasn't showing the highest level of technique, but he was showing some stuff that's going to pay dividends for those kids. You know, talk about push-outs and 180 and in, making sure you're keeping your butt in balance. Talk about how the Iranians go forward, you know, and then they were going over some head pinch stuff, some front headlock stuff with their locks and all that. You know, so I mean, very fundamental freestyle Greco technique, but you know, kind of getting those kids' wheels turning. It wasn't the greatest turnout walking down there, but you know, Farrer and Swink did a good job of kind of moving it from that back mat to a mat a little closer under light, you know, and it worked out really well, man. I mean, you know, kids were listening, they would leave, they would come back, you know, and, you know, like overall, I mean, that was exciting, you know, I mean, you know, of course, Don Bradley, you know, he's on the ladder still training, you know, he's at heavyweight and stuff, but I mean, that's a dude that, you know, the kids should have been excited, man. He's part of an exciting program now at West Virginia. Yep. So, I mean, you know, it's freestyle Greco season, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know,
I'm excited. We start Tuesday. Can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
We've been lifting.
We're going to run a freestyle workout on Monday.
Somebody's getting thrown, man. Somebody's getting freaking launched.
I love it. I love it.
Wow, but, hopefully it's not me.
This is a little fun topic.
For being late today.
You know, we keep going. We're going to have a fun little topic. Coach Foss over here. You know,
I want to say something right now, okay, to introduce this. In the history of Bond movies, now I'm not a big fan of Bond movies, okay? I think Sean Connery, okay, he's beating my tail.
He's the original, yeah, he's going to kick your ass.
Roger Moore, I think it's a little closer.
No.
I think he still beats my tail. I'm going to take that. The new guy, Jason Stratham, he's bald, he's in the Bald Hall of Fame, he's beating my tail. Who doesn't belong in that list?
Jason's not Bond.
Who was that guy?
That's like, what is his name?
The new guy. The new guy's beating.
It's not Jason Statham.
No.
I thought it was him.
No.
He should be Bond.
Well,
He's more Bond than the guy I'm about to say. Pierce Brosnan. You tell me that guy belongs to be Bond. And so we started this a couple weeks ago, where we talked about how if Pierce Brosnan and I get in a brawl, who's winning that brawl? Now, at first, Goodbody was skeptical. He said no.
Daniel Craig.
He was Bond.
Daniel Craig's
Daniel Craig is also beating my tail, but not Pierce Brosnan.
I was skeptical.
Yes.
I'm gonna set the scenery here for when this topic came out. You know, we went. It was right after the VHSL debacle, so everyone's a little high strung.
I was
You know,
I was high strung.
Coach Foss turns to me randomly. He's like, "You think I'm taking Pierce Brosnan?" And I immediately, my first thing turned to me. I said, "He's James Bond." Foss is not taking James Bond.
No, I said.
But then he was like, "You got to think, Coach. He was in like Mamma Mia
and Remington Steele.
Remington Steele should not be James Bond.
He was in a Thomas Crown affair.
Once you're Remington Steele, you're Remington Steele for life.
They got the wheels turning. I think Foss is taken.
I think he
better not make it if it goes to the ground. His only shot is keeping me on my feet. If it goes to the ground,
you trying to say he has better hands?
I'm going to ground and pound, maybe. But if I get inside and I get to the ground,
in a wrestling match, I think you got.
We're going to ground and pound him.
Well, he's also like what? 65 years old.
65.
He's an elder.
Anyone out there in the talking wrestling world, Jason Bryant, you probably have the most pull.
Saying anything right now.
Jason Bryant, you probably have the most pull. Make this happen.
Yeah. James Bryant. Yeah.
We'll wrestle at a catch weight.
Bryant definitely has Remington Steele in his like
in his contacts. That's
next to the guy that played in Riptide.
You know, but I mean, those of you that aren't watching this now, those of you that watch this, later,
from the 80s. Was it like
after the A-Team?
Was it like a rip-off of like
it was
Baywatch?
I don't know. No, it wasn't Baywatch. It was more like
Riptide.
I couldn't even explain the premise. It was just like after the A-Team, and it's almost like it's after the A-Team. People are gonna watch it because it's after the A-Team. So you know. That's why they watched it.
1984 to 1986. Mustache. Yeah. He's got the porn star mustache going.
You grew your hair out and you had a mustache.
Oh my god,
that could have been me, man. I had a little natural poof going the last like 2 weeks.
That's awful.
That is awesome.
That's awful,
dude.
Goodbody, your freaking mustache was hideous. It was so bad.
All right.
They almost kicked you out of school.
I grew a beard.
They didn't let you around kids.
I grew my beard out during season as usual. And, you know, BC and the boys decided, you know, that'd be a great idea to tell me, that, hey, Coach, you should rock a mustache. And I was like, you know what?
Sometimes discretion is the better part.
When I shave this beard, I will rock a mustache the Monday when we get back from school after state. So sure enough, I did. And by God, it was atrocious. Like, Teddy Roosevelt was a better looking man than I was with the mustache.
Teddy Roosevelt was a trust buster.
You know? Like,
you just look like a guy you can't trust.
Yeah. I felt dirty, and like I went home and I shaved it off, and it like came off with like a solid piece. Like, it was awful.
He donated.
I could have saved it, and then like that night I went and like we were planning on a tournament. Well, we were planning on a tournament, so I had to go talk with Strickland, and Strickland was like, you know, you should have kept it, Coach. You know.
It was hideous.
I don't know, man. I'm never gonna do that again. Like, it added like 30 pounds onto my face.
That's not good.
I'm already big. It added 30 pounds on my face in like 20 years.
Yeah, that's just.
You know, it was awful. But you know, we're gonna get this rocking and rolling again. We're gonna do more episodes again. You know, I have a lot of fun doing it. These guys not probably as much as I do.
I'm the diva. I just like to show up.
No, I have fun doing it, but you know, every Saturday night I would get a text message, "Hey, we got to do Talkin Wrestling tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I'm freaking driving back from God knows where, driving not on a school bus, but driving the bus, and I'm just
it's
exhausted.
not my fault that Ross Katomer can't drive a bus.
Oh, he can drive a bus.
No. Oh, y'all are racist.
He's really good in those green pipes, though.
Oh, after Arthur Ashe said it, he disappears in the ceiling with those green pipes.
Was he there yesterday?
He was yesterday.
Wow,
he kept grabbing gold coins and getting a point.
You know, it was ridiculous. You know, and like, Can we talk about how Ross doesn't dress up anymore for you guys? Like,
that's pretty awesome.
You guys all match.
But he says he doesn't change. You told me why.
He
said
works
the
out,
same thing.
okay.
Works out with the kids.
I mean, I know me and Foss look like crap when we're coaching. But.
And I know that upsets Gordon, but he doesn't say anything at the tournament. But he's just like,
I don't wear college shirts. I started wearing college shirts since Spiak bought some.
We stepped it up.
We did. We stepped it up. I don't wear flips.
We did a better job.
I'm getting old. My feet are getting cold.
I want to give a shout out to Coach Keel for state finals, though. He dressed up for state finals.
Did he wear his hat?
Yeah, he had no hat.
Wow.
He was awesome.
He was dressed up, man, doing her up, man.
Juiced up.
And they had, 50-something kids?
That youth league had 50-something kids in volleyball.
That's awesome, man. That's huge, dude.
And they had the funniest name for their club on the back of their singlets. It was like Fro Row.
Yeah, Fro Row. Front row, buddy.
Yeah, Fro Row.
I like
Fro
it, man.
Row. Represent.
I like it.
On the Shenandoah River.
How about our youth league coach? Our youth kids having better singlets.
I don't want to talk about that. They curb stomped me as far as designing singlets, and I don't know. The singlets are a little they're a little off.
A little flashy.
They're a little flashy for me. The flight shorts are awesome. I was like, damn. I wish thou shalt not covet, but I covet those things.
It's all about gear. You have good gear, and the kids are gonna get it.
Oh, you guys in your Saints gear, man. You do it.
Rock the Saints gear, fellas.
How much Fair and them, man. Fair, Crocker, Swink. You guys were selling it up yesterday, man.
Oh yeah.
They had a bunch of gear being sold. I want y'all to go back to like the old school, retro stuff, man.
I think you might see that happen. The singlets that the kids liked last year weren't the Fargo singlets. They were the cadet and junior dual singlets that were just real simple.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, nothing flashy. The kids really liked those more than what they got for Fargo. Because Fargo is just, they have the singlet contest, the T-shirt contest, and somebody wants to win that stupid singlet contest. I'm not big on crazy, flashy stuff. I want basic singlets,
That's how we are about our singlets and stuff.
I'm like that too. They hate our middle school singlets. I don't know. I think they look pretty good.
Simple, it makes a statement.
State with blue and gold.
Yeah, it makes a statement.
With a lion in front.
Yeah. An NKMS.
Why would you have a lion?
Yeah, the middle school.
The New Kent Lions, man, the middle school team.
Yeah.
What?
It's not Trojans. You got to be a lion before you're a Trojan.
Yeah, you got to earn to be a Trojan.
And then you were a river otter down at the elementary school.
Oh yeah,
river otter.
I don't know.
I worked at the elementary school. I was a river otter.
I thought that my elementary school mascot.
Big river otter.
Yeah, you're like the king river otter. we were the Park Forest penguins, and I thought that was stupid. But. See, junior high, we were the little lions, and then high school we were the little lions.
No, Manheim was the same way. We were all barons all the way.
Badass
Maroon
barons.
and gray.
Did you have your little staff and
we did not. We not. We
not like the millionaires.
All right, shout outs before we go. I got 3 of them.
Whoa.
3 of them. I apologize. Let's give a shout out.
45 minutes. How long have we been on?
32.
Yeah, a little early.
Yeah, we're running.
That's all right.
I like it though.
Quick out.
Shout out to Chris Steinbacher.
Papa Steinbacher.
Papa Steinbacher.
I forgot about that.
Dude is a father.
I didn't forget, but I didn't.
His wife Steph just gave birth to the little baby Tyler Steinbacher.
Congratulations. A blessing on your head. Muzzle tough. Muzzle tough.
We're getting, I've been getting all sorts of updates, man. Tyler Steinbach, he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, he's gonna be an animal.
He came out of the womb with cauliflower ears.
He might have,
He doubled the doctor.
Let's give a shout out to Steiny. He's not getting much sleep now. I told him he's not gonna get much sleep for a couple of months.
Yeah.
He texted me last night at 3 a.m. saying I should be up, and I was like, definitely not. Let's see, another shout out to our 2 New Kent NCWA All-Americans. I want to give a shout out first to Trey Gregory. He's a 4-time state medalist for us in New Kent. Team captain. Went out there. He wrestled as the club president at JMU. He sat in the corner for one of his finalists, and I made fun of him because.
Did he dress up?
He did not. He was still in his wrestling
That would have been
shoes.
sweet.
Well, he had to be on the podium.
That's true.
But he was on the podium. He took a 3rd. Which is awesome. He's only a junior. Hopefully next year he can make a run. He seems like he's having a lot of fun wrestling, man. It pumps me up. He's just a great kid. His mom was out there updating us the whole time. Also, Evan Kennedy. who was a New Kent graduate, 2-time state medalist at New Kent. Evan, you know, went and wrestled at Messiah. Now he's wrestling at Liberty, and he's just doing awesome, man. He loves the sport. He's a great kid. Liberty's a great environment for him. He took second, lost a tough one in the finals, you know, but pinned his way into the finals, you know. So New Kent had 2 All-Americans, and you know, while they were out there, we have a kid that's in the military. He was just a tough kid for us. B-team guy, never really could get a, you know, really punch in, but his name was, you know,
tough guys ahead of him.
You know, Buscarino. He was out there stationed.
Watched him.
He went and supported his old teammates,
Yeah.
man. Showed up randomly.
Probably wore that singlet that was too small.
He
for
probably
him.
did. You know, but those are my
awesome.
3 shout-outs, man. I love it. You know, this like New Kent kids, man.
Do we have
supporting
time
each
to do
other.
shout-outs for us too, or are we good? They were good though.
You know, freestyle Greco's coming.
Yes.
Be ready. You're gonna get thrown, people. You're gonna get thrown.
Who are you gonna
This
throw
guy,
this
number
year in your
one.
film? Like,
Number 1. Yeah, you don't
I
have
don't know if
Jackson.
they'll really be able to throw Jackson. You know,
I'll find somebody to throw.
Probably Buck Nasty.
maybe Buck Nasty.
He's got to learn how to fall first.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He doesn't know how to fall.
No.
You know, BC's a little big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Lakers
Caden Darber
bigger.
maybe.
He's a little big now too.
Yeah.
A little big. I mean, you know,
We'll see.
My shout-out is for the UVA program. Got their hat going on.
Yeah, winning the
Winning
ACC title.
ACCs,
Yeah.
a little bit of a surprise. Upset,
Yeah,
you know.
big time.
They wrestled a very good tournament. Talked to Coach Garland yesterday. It's always great seeing that guy. Had a lot to say about it. And
you didn't even have like butt-in hugs, like not butt-out hugs. It's like you guys. It's a little
I
weird.
never noticed.
That is a little
Never
weird.
noticed that. One of the things I like that he said yesterday, though, is
That is
that
a little weird.
he was watching Blakers and BC, and he remembers those when they were little shavers coming to his camp when he'd come up to New Kent. Now he's watching them as they graduate and seeing them going to school. So, going to school next year.
Coach Garland does a great job with that program out there.
He does,
He
so-
really does.
So that's
good.
my shout out, everybody.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is that
I
a
love-
wrap?
I
That's
think
a
so.
wrap on Talkin.
What about next
Wrestling.
week? I guess we'll have the times posted. Keep the cards and letters coming, people.
Yeah, we'll try to do this next week possibly. You know, we're heading into spring break, but yeah, we'll keep things going. Hey, this will be posted up on YouTube later on.
Check it out.
Check it out, and we always welcome your feedback. So from us to you to us, hey, it's been Talkin' Wrestling. It's been great.
Jason Bryant, we're better than you.
Jason Bryant, I'm throwing you.
That would be cool to see.
All right, we'll catch y'all later.
Good night now.
Woo! What are we listening to?
What is that?
Mr. Bull.